Changeling is a film directed by Clint Eastwood starring Angelina Jolie and is based on the true story of the disappearance of Christine Collins' son, while also diving deep into the real-life Wineville chicken coop murders. After reporting her son missing, the cops bring her son back months later. The boy is not her son. Due to how corrupt this police department is, it is up to Christine Collins to battle it out in court and prove that this boy is not her son, which leads to a very big political matter of how police should have less power determining whether to do with a person, which led to a very nationwide story in the late 1920s. Now, I have to say, I'm not that much of a fan of Clint Eastwood. I do like some of his performances in some of his earlier roles. After the decades of acting, he decides to take up the mantle as director, directing a screenplay that was produced after the first draft, and it kind of shows in some ways. Not all first drafts are bad, some do require rewrites, but I feel like this script should have gone through another set of eyes. Even though Angelina Jolie does deliver a very Oscar-worthy performance, the story around her isn't as deep as her performance. You get what you get with this movie. It is very flat surface. It's your typical story of good versus evil, with some characters being straight up supervillains. Now granted, I haven't done much research about the detectives and the doctors, and I don't know how corrupted they were in the 1920s, but man, they were really, really evil. The detective character who was supposed to be the main antagonist, he was kind of really flat in this movie. I think even though his performance was really good, I think his character was kind of one-dimensional. He's just that, oh, you think I'm wrong, don't you? Well, I'm a corrupt police officer and you're going to jail, buckaroo. With the doctor being like, so Lee, you're supporting the cops now, huh? Well, guess what? I found a note that says otherwise. It wasn't that over-exaggerated, but that's the type of villainy I got from him. This movie is also 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it's just because it's so bloated. There's so many scenes. There's the part when she does go to the insane asylum, but it really comes down to a massive halt. Angelina Jolie does disappear from the screen, and there's this other character played by Amy Ryan, and she barely puts an impact at all in this story. Whatever sad moments happens to her, I was just like, I don't know your character that well. I do like the whole investigation with the Wineville chicken coop murders, especially because Wineville got turned to Mira Loma, and I just lived 10 minutes away from Mira Loma. I thought the investigation part of that was really good. I was more intrigued what's going to happen next with that story. However, not enough time is given to it. We get the location, we find the killer, and next thing you know, the killer is put into execution. We don't get that much information about the killer. We don't know what's in his mind. Granted, there are real life documents of him, but he's just a murderer, one-dimensional character. I know these characters are based on real people, but I feel like the only emotionally well-written character was Christine Collins. Every other character is what you get, minus the other detective who was doing the Wineville chicken coop investigation. John Malkovich is in this movie, but his character doesn't really stand out that much. He's just a radio host who calls out the corrupted police. He doesn't really do much at all in this film. I do like the confrontation scene between Christine Collins and the man who believed to be the killer of her son. It leaves a very mysterious way of what happened. This boy identified her son, yet this guy doesn't want to tell Christine the truth. The real story of all this is very sad and tragic, but I don't think the movie really captures that. I think this movie is very slow, flat, and a little bit too bloated. I definitely think this story could have been worked on before on production, but it's Clint Eastwood. You're just going to get what you're going to get from him. I'm going to give Changeling a 5 out of 10. Again, Angelina Jolie, the scenes where she's taking this fake boy to the dentist, to the teacher, is really good. The investigation of Wineville was really good. Everything else wasn't that interesting with characters that you probably won't remember. That'll do it for this video, guys. Click on that subscribe and notification bell and get ready for more content and more videos, okay? I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you on the next one. No, I'm just kidding. You will get a new video, okay? Okay, bye.